Welcome back to Jordan Snow's Tiny Room Concerts. This is Austin Bash.
What's up?
What song do you got for us
Uh,
today?
this is an old song or a new song, depending on the way you look at it. Uh, I wrote this forever ago, but I've been playing with the band. It's called Holding On.
Alright.
Got this little girl who loves to drive me crazy. I don't know what I want, but you sure do now, don't you, baby? I don't know if I can, so hold me up, but not too high, and I'll do what you want. You know me, I'm always trying. I keep shit underground, but that's the way things have to be. And I wish I could stand up above all the rest and let the whole world see. But I don't know if I can, so I'm holding on, and I don't know if I can, so I'm holding on, I'm holding on. Breaking down, I'm breaking in now, anything I can, just to have another taste of her, to hold her in my hands, and to live a day without her is to live a day in hell. And I wish I could forget her, but tragically I am myself. The road that'll lead her back to me, and once her lips touch mine, I know everything will be like it should be. Guess I'm drowning in what you call love, and yeah, I'm falling in what you call love. I'm breaking down, I'm breaking in now, anything I can, just to have another taste of her, to hold her in my hands, and to live a day without her is to live a day in hell. And I wish I could forget her, but tragically I am myself. Got this little girl who likes to keep me up for days, and I'm asleep, but you know dreaming's better anyway. I could storm my way, I'm trying to get by, and I don't need you, girl, but like I said, I'm always trying. I keep shit underground, but that's the way things have to be. And I wish I could stand up above all the rest and let the whole world see. But don't know if I can, so I'm holding on, I'm holding on. I don't know if I can, so I'm holding on, breaking down, I'm breaking in now, anything I can, just to have another taste of her, to hold her in my hands, and to live a day without her is to live a day in hell. And I wish I could forget her, but tragically I am myself.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Tell me, what's that song about?
I don't really like to give it away,
Oh,
but
okay. It's a secret song.
well, it's kind of about a couple things. There's a lot of references to some hardcore drugs in there, but it's kind of about that addiction and passion that you can have with a person, whether you want to or not.
Wow. It's kind of deep.
Yeah, yeah. I was kind of in a dark place when I wrote that. So.
So what are some like why'd you get into music? Who's your inspirations?
I got into music when I was really little. My mom did music. My uncles did music. And they eventually they went and did like a church choir, and I was in that when I was probably pre-K, and then
Oh wow.
yeah, and then
It's like your whole life.
yeah, my whole life. I did all the musical plays until about 5th grade. Then I think 6th grade I picked up guitar and discovered what real music was. I mean, to
So
an
what's
extent.
real music?
Well,
What
I
does
know
that
that's so at the time, this is the 90s. I grew up. I feel like there was only two two radio stations really where I grew up. You had rap and country, and I hate 90s country for the most part. And I wasn't uh, I wasn't really allowed to listen to rap at the time because like they were like, oh, adults only, so my parents were very like
the explicit language.
dude, I couldn't rent Metroid until I was a man. So, they were very, very strict.
My parents were kind of the same way. I couldn't watch Power Rangers. Like it was too violent.
Yeah. Pokemon. There was a scare for a while where I couldn't have Pokemon because that was the devil.
Oh my
god. So yeah, we raised. Church choir. We raised Catholic.
When you live in the Bible Belt, it's like
I actually grew up in South Louisiana, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's.
What city?
Houma, just south of New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you're like deep south.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was anything south of New Orleans but ocean.
That's actually what.
You live like in the Gulf, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like I always tell people, like from my hometown, if you drive like an hour and a half south, you drown like a half hour back.
Half hour back.
So I mean, yeah, it doesn't get much deeper than that. Like, it was funny. I was watching Suicide Squad the other day, and they're like, we locked in the deepest, darkest corners of, obscurity or whatever, and it's like Terrebonne Parish. I'm like, that's where I'm from. Like it makes me it's happened to me a couple times. Like they're like Terrebonne Parish is like the deepest, darkest roots of Louisiana, and I'm like,
that's like basically
that
next
was my
door.
life. No, I lived in that parish. Like that's where I grew up.
Oh, okay. So Homa's in what's the parish called?
Terrebonne.
Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah, Terrebonne Parish.
Said it so quick.
Yeah. The Skeleton Key. That movie took place in Terrebonne Parish. I'm just like, wow, all these horrible things that I just didn't know.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
But yeah, I think 6th grade I picked up a guitar, and from there it was like after I figured out there was other things besides the rap I wasn't allowed to listen to, which I mean was like the thong song and then Eminem. It was like the only things I had heard up to that point, which Eminem was great even at the time, but I didn't like country, and a friend came over one day, and he was like really hush hush. He was like, "Do you have a stereo?" Right? And I didn't know what was going on, what he was about to surprise me with. But I bust out my stereo, and he pops in Leonard Skinner CD, and he plays Freebird. And it was the first time I'd ever heard that song, like, or knew that music like that existed. Like it blew my mind, and like ever since that moment, I was like, I really would love to do that. And
so are you the guy that like when people call out Freebird, you actually play it?
No.
Oh.
I
okay, I was just.
I know the rules.
You really wanted to do that specifically, so I was.
Look, no Freebird, no Stairway. Like, you gotta know what not to play.
Play Wonderwall.
Yeah, Wonderwall, like, I avoided that one for years.
So you picked out the Led Zeppelin 1 album out
Yes.
of my collection. What do they mean to you?
Um,
What's that all about?
well, Led Zeppelin was one of those, like, shortly after discovering who Leonard Skinner was, I was, like, mad hungry for just, like, all the classic rock and stuff, like, that came before my time. So, like, I picked up Jimi Hendrix and, you know, I was listening to pretty much everything that came out on Guitar Hero. Like, I dove into that, and so there was all that, and then Led Zeppelin came along, and somebody showed me, and I can't think of the concert, but it's like the ones with the red mountains on the front. It's like a live recorded concert. It's like, I think it's one or two of them actually. It's like a collection, and it's that, him with the SG, like playing the double headed SG,
Nice.
and it's just like, I was blown away. Again, things that I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
At that point, so like, I guess like just seeing them do so many crazy things with different sounds, and then like they were incredible to me in an age that like had far passed, and I was like, now in the moment, I was just completely blown away by the things they were doing musically, and until I found Nirvana.
Ooh.
And then I was like, oh man,
your grunge phase.
I'm still in my grunge phase. Like, I got the. No, I mean, you didn't talk about. You didn't have a Nirvana album, but if you did, we'd be talking about that.
Well, what do you love about them?
Yeah,
let's talk about them.
Yeah, sure, we'll talk about them. I pretty much love everything that they ever did, and I know, like, there's like I think I'd say the Unplugged album, right? The Unplugged album, like, I found that, I listened to it, growing up, and then when I actually decided to start performing and doing that about 8 to 10 years ago, I was really struggling with finding a way to be entertaining without a band, and it just me and a guitar, and like the way that he would play would just made this bigger sound, and just to see him in a room with him and a guitar, and everyone else drops out, and there's this 100, 200 people, however many are in this room, and you can hear a pin drop. Like, there's just no one talking, no one moving. They're completely enamored, and like that. I've tried to like selfishly recreate that, like every time I play.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's dope.
I mean, it's just that there's a moment when he's playing Lead Belly, right? No, not Lead Belly. Oh man, My Girl. I can't think of the artist. I'm gonna kick myself.
Like the Temptations, My Girl.
My girl, don't lie to me.
Oh.
Tell me, where did you sleep last night? Anyway. Yeah.
I think it's the Temptations.
I don't think it's not the Temptations, but
it's not talking about my girl.
No, it's definitely
not.
No,
Different one.
It's a different one. But there's a moment where it's the end of the concert, and he looks up, and like there's just silence. There's nothing going on, and the whole room is just hung on that note. And like I think that's the moment where like Nirvana really got me, as like wow, what they were doing was just mind blowing.
So what do you think about Foo Fighters?
Yeah, I love the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl is like a talented musician. I think that they're one of like the last of like a particular era. I find. I mean, they evolve and they're able to kind of keep up to date with everything I've heard. Now it's been a couple albums since I've listened to them, so I don't know. I don't know what they've been doing lately. I need to go back, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't say that I've listened to like everything from like probably any band. Like they always have something out there that you're like, oh, I haven't heard that. Like,
I think between Nirvana and Sublime, I've heard everything.
Really, that's awesome.
Sublime was another big band that like I discovered like way later on than I should have. Like long after Bradley had died.
Don't you do a cover by them?
Yeah. We
what's it called? The Reef one?
Yeah. The Reef.
That's what I call it. I hear you play it and I'm just like, that Reef song, yeah, that's dope.
It's called Badfish. It's one of their
I love
it's
that.
probably one of their main songs, like hits. But we like I like doing that because we do it as a duet and it's like
yeah. I like it a lot when y'all do it. It's like really cool.
Yeah, just having like he had a relationship with Gwen Stefani, like the leader of No Doubt, and like they did a couple songs together, and I really like that dynamic. So it's like I wanted to do that, but not like the same songs that they were doing. you know, like so, try to pick a song and put it on its head. It worked out.
Well, speaking of songs that you do, I gotta beg you and I gotta ask you. Glad That You're Gone is my favorite song that you do.
Broken, 'cause I'm broken too. Identical pieces, the flowers and the glue. If you never come my way, I wouldn't have to speak the truth. Trials got you guilty, babe. Wasted on the proof. Never did I wanna see another day gone dry. This ain't where I wanna be, but life has passed me by. You're the one that broke my heart, but I'm the one that tried. And even though we fell apart, I guess it's justified. Glad that you're gone. La-di-da-da-da. I know you're broken, but I guess it